Welcome, and here we go. Good morning, everybody. I thought we would do another tea time with Jones, so I have pulled some things. Actually, I had a conversation very early this morning with my partner who is British, who said, I have found all of my old storytelling books from when I was a kid. And so then that started me down the road of, well, what did I listen to when I was a kid? And so I've pulled some of them. People have been putting the old stuff on YouTube. And so I thought it might be fun, especially to compare what was happening in the UK in the early 80s with what was happening here in the early 80s. So I haven't listened to these, so we're getting full reaction reality. I just got them this morning. So this, she said, was something that they listened to at night before they went to bed. So let's take a listen. Definitely 80s. Every fortnight, look, they've forecasted the game. £1.95. That's pretty cool. Even the illustrations look scary. I think they tried to scare us as kids. I think that was the plan.
Gobelino, the witch's cat.
Oh, the witch's cat. Excellent. Oh dear. I would have no wonder I had so many nightmares as a child.
On a dark and cloudy night, two tiny kittens crept out of the cave where they had been born. It was the first time they had set foot outside the cave. It was so dark that Gobelino could barely see his twin sister, Sutika. She was as black as the night itself.
Sutika.
What
That's
do you
a great
want
name.
to be when you grow up? Asked Gobelino.
Goblin.
Oh, I'll be a witch's cat like Ma, said Sutika. I'll learn magic and how to ride a broomstick and turn mice into frogs and frogs into guinea pigs. I'll fly on the night wind with the bats and the owls saying meow. And people will say, there goes Sutika, the witch's cat. Gobelino was silent for a long time. Then he said, I'll be a kitchen cat. I'll sit by the fire with my paws tucked under my chest and purr. When the children of the house come in from school, they'll pull my ears and tickle and tease me. I'll mind the house and chase the mice and watch the baby. And when all the children are in bed, I'll climb onto their mother's lap and they'll call me Gobelino, the kitchen cat.
Can you imagine having a cat named Gobelino? I think that's hilarious. I love the expressiveness of the person reading. Like, that was a full-time job that someone had, was to read these audiobooks. And I think if any of you go to the library when this is all, when COVID's over, and you see Miss Martin, she does have audiobooks, and I just don't think that they have the same theatrics to them as they used to. People are more likely to read just in a normal voice, and they don't do the voices, like just the expression in here. It's amazing. Let's check out another one. So, this is one that I had, that also my partner had, but mine was Fisher Price and hers was Pickwick Telltale. Whoa! That's some excitement. Come on. Goodness, so much theatrics. Oh yeah, that's totally, yep. See, that's the Pickwick one. Mine looked like a different one, a Fisher Price one. I think the next one I have is Fisher Price.
The Three Musketeers by Alexandra Dumas.
I just love the music with it. It's like a whole auditory production. Oh, I missed these. I'm gonna have, I'm gonna listen to these tonight.
In April 1625,
this is what's gonna happen.
the little French town of Meun was in a state of great excitement. In those times, fighting was common in France. The king fought the ambitious Cardinal Richelieu, who wanted to be as powerful as the king himself. Noble families fought among themselves, and Spain was always ready to wage war.
Oh, Spain.
Few days passed without trouble in some town or another.
Some town or another. Very specific. Alexander Dumas.
On this particular day,
Oh, the
a
crowd
crowd
and
had gathered
everything.
outside the inn. The cause of all the stir was the arrival of a young man. He was riding the oddest horse the townspeople had ever seen. It looked so...
So this is the full Three Musketeers audiobook, side 1 and 2, 29 minutes. If you get a chance, I highly recommend finding these audiobooks from the 80s that were on tape, because they're so entertaining. So this one is absolutely one I had. I remember it, but I had the record player. So I didn't have, this is the one from the tapes, but let me, I know they have videos on it, so let me just look up the videos on, because I'm going to show you. This is what I had, as a kid, and I used to listen to, like, sit in my room with records all the time. I know, I'm dating myself, but it's okay. I'll take it this time. So yeah, this is what they look like. This is the one I had right here. I had an older one. I think it got passed down in my family. I'm not that old. I was not born in 1971.
Jack
close,
and Jill.
but this is what I had. And when you were young, you learned how to use it. And it had 2 different speeds. And so sometimes it would sound really funny, and sometimes it wouldn't, depending on what, if you flipped it to the right thing or not, whether it was a 78 or not. So we had this one when we were really little, and then we got upgraded, and we got, where's the one that'll play actual records? I think that one will play actual records if you spin it the right way. It's a little more difficult to get it to go, but so I had these plastic records, and I just had like a bin full of these plastic records that had the grooves in them. We didn't get the vinyl ones until we were older because they're too easy to snap, but that's totally what it looked like. Oh my gosh, this is like nostalgia. It looked like that. It came in a little box. You opened it up. Yep, totally. And there you go, 33, 45. It depended on which size vinyl you had. See, we were DJs long before any of you thought of being club DJs. Like, this is, I mean, it happened. This was just how we did things. Yep. One speaker. You used to rock out in your room, so you know how you all wear earbuds and do the dance parties in your room, or have like, I have a portable Bose now that's Bluetooth. This is what we had. This was a craziness. So the Three Little Pigs. Let's look at it, because this is what I played it on. Was one of those
Walt Disney's Three Little Pigs.
turntables.
This is the story
And I had a
of
book,
the Three Little
and
Pigs.
you used to flip the book when
you
the time
can read
went.
along with me in your book as we follow the story. When you hear this sound,
There you go. That's when you turn the page.
turn the page. After you finish the story, you can turn the tape cassette over and record your own story. Okay, let's begin. This is the story of 3 little pigs and one big bad wolf.
Big bad wolf.
The 3 little pigs lived in a house at the bottom of a hill. They lived with their mother. The big bad wolf lived in a house at the top of the hill. He lived alone.
And then this leads into a whole other conversation about story, because it's always the hermit that by themselves that's the villain, and then there's all of these things about villainy and what kind of stories we used to listen to. So I used to have nightmares as a kid about wolves all the time. I lived in a rural area. Actually, for those of you that live between Nelson and Castlegar, I lived in Thrums when I was a kid, and we lived in a rural area that had a lot of forest, and so I always dreamt that wolves were going to come after me. You're getting a whole insight into Jones's psyche right now. But my partner and I were discussing it, and we're pretty sure that it's because of this. this audiobook, because we both had it and listened to it at night. And like, you used to listen to these things, your parents would put them on a cassette tape, because that, or, you know, you would listen to them before you went to bed. But I'm pretty sure it's because of this book. Just listen to the music. Look at the cover of the book. Yeah, this is what I did before I went to bed. No wonder I had wolf nightmares.
The Hound of the Baskervilles by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
So, if you want to take a trip down Jones's memory lane, you know, have a listen to some of these older things. They're on YouTube. I'll put the links of some of these in the description of this video, but yeah, it's no wonder I had nightmares as a child. What did you listen to as a child? What did your parents read you? I mean, my parents read me a lot of books. We read a lot. But as I got older, like at school age, like 5, 6, 7, 8, then cassette tapes and record players were the thing, because then I could do it myself and I could listen to them whenever I wanted to. So what did you have? What did you listen to? What did your parents have any of the older stuff? Obviously, I'm old as dirt. We know that. But I doubt that you had these, but I'm sure you had something. So, you know, comment below, or, you know, send me a message about what did you listen to as a child? What did your parents play for you, or did you have access to? And it's interesting now that I see what my nephews, who are of school age now, just 5 and 8, what they listen to and what my sister plays for them. They don't actually have this story thing. She reads to them a whole lot more than they ever had audiobooks, but because of COVID, they both have tablets now, which is their first access to technology they've had. And so I'm wondering if that will change. It'll be interesting to see over time. So, just curious, what have you been doing? What do you listen to as a kid? Oh my goodness, it's 8:30. Jones needs to get to work. I have things to do. I have people to meet. Some of you. I gotta get ready. So, you know, tea time. Enjoy your morning. Enjoy your day whenever you watch this. And it looks to be sunny here today, so I'm gonna try and get outside. I hope you do. And we'll see you next time on Tea Time.